Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time for the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Career Mode to take place on a Friday night where we have a chance to clinch the championship. Qualified 16th in this first race in Charlotte, so not quite as well as I would have hoped. Our equipment isn't quite up to where I want it to be for this race in particular, but we've got some Speedway chassis and engines building that 2 races down the line, we'll be right back into winning form, I'm sure, once again. But got to survive this race, get a solid finish, maintain that points lead. We've got about a 2-race lead right now, so we are looking to clinch the championship before the season finale, and hopefully we can do so, which would take pressure off of us at Homestead and maybe even at Phoenix, Rockingham rather, in the second to last race of the season as well. So let's get into this one. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't yet, and let's enjoy. This is Charlotte. Got 6 races left on the season. 6 races, trying to win the championship. We're sitting at 15 wins on the year, which would be 21 in our career. And that'd be pretty cool if we can somehow get the 25 career wins through our first 4 seasons. But this would be our first championship. Get a 20-win season if we win 5 more races, too. So if we win 5 races, we'd have a 20-win season, and we would have pretty strong running, pretty strong stranglehold of things, to say the least.
I'm telling you, he's got to be the favorite for the championship this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely the favorite for the title. I mean, as big of a points lead as we built up, I know I didn't qualify particularly well in this one, not going to get the sponsorship bonus for qualifying top 10, but we have a couple $1 million still in the bank right now, and we still have like 7 races left on our current shop edition, so we'll get that built back up, especially with the Daytona 500 being, in the next stream technically to start next season. If we win back-to-back Daytona 500s, that would be great for us too. There were races that got away from us this season. I mean, we could have won. I mean, I don't know how many races we're going to win from here on out, but if I don't squander any, I mean, we could have had close to 20 wins by now in the season, which is just insane to think about. We had 6 different winners those first 6 races of the season. It took till the 7th race for me to get win number 2 on the season, and then after that, man, we opened up the floodgates quick. The fact that I won 14 of the last 22 races, I think that's insane. It is absolutely insane. I've won that much. All right, let's make it happen. I think the car might be a little too loose based off of where it was in qualifying. Sorry, Ricky. Yeah, I messed that up pretty badly. Don't wreck it. Don't wreck it. Don't wreck it. Spotter, hello, is this thing on? That wasn't helping me. Yeah, it was a little loose off the exit of the corners in particular. Well, so much for qualifying top half of the field. Already back to 33rd. I didn't wreck it, so that's good. I got that couple race buffer. I don't want to use all these points. We still got to seal the deal here. I'm not going to choke this championship boy. I'm not worried even with this bad start to this race, just because I know I have still 5 races left after this, but a couple 100-point lead. We can squander 1 race and we'll still be sitting all right, but I don't want to have to do that. Only 1 out of this race is a top 10. I know I've never won at Charlotte, so it'd be cool to win here for the first time, but after that start, top 10 is A-okay for me. Oh, that was tight to go 3 wide there. Made it work somehow. Oh, dang it. I'm just pushing too hard. Ethan, thanks for tuning in. Well, this now it would be the Roval, but at this time period, not the case. Man, right back to 30th again on lap 5. Just kind of cutting back through the field pretty quickly there. Keep damaging the race. Excuse me, jeez. Sorry, I coughed into the mic. I don't know what that was all about. Snuck up on me. Apologize for that. Yeah, Herbie Sadler's going to try to wreck me. I get alongside of him. Yeah, knew that was going to happen. Costing me a spot. Wow, Dale Jr.'s back here too. That's wild. I'll guide the way, Junebug. Stay up there, Hermie. He thought about hitting me, but he didn't. I'm glad he didn't. Alright. I don't know what is reasonable for me to drive up to position-wise. No, not a good start for me at all. You were right about that. Kind of ugly, to be completely honest. Got top 10 speed, but clearly not running clean laps. Consistently, at least. Just pushing too hard, trying to fight through traffic. Because I keep putting myself so far in the back of the pack. See, there it is right there. Hang on to it, hang on to it. All right. Jesus. I'm getting mad at myself for overdriving the race car. Overdrove it again. Clipped the apron getting in. Luckily, I'm so much faster than Elliott Sadler. Never had a chance to cross me over. Last thing I want to be doing is making a lot of rivals with X amount of races left this season. That's exactly what I'm doing in this race. And unintentionally. There we go. That was a clean 3-wide pass. Thank you. I was saying thank you to myself, by the way, for actually properly passing cars cleanly on the racetrack. Make contact that not only risked me of wrecking, but it just cost me time overall trying to dice back through the field. I've been outside the top 30 twice in this thing and right back up to 13th now. This is our race high, actually, position-wise, because I qualified 16th. Good chance I can get back into the top 10 before green flag pit stops. Well, I don't know about that. Get past these next two cars in a bit of a space before we get to the 10th place car. It sucks because I'm running faster lap times than the leaders. I just put myself too far behind. Hopefully I qualify really well in the races to come. I don't have to worry about any rivals I've made in the back of the pack. Go up to 11th. Yeah, I'm definitely going to short pit. I want to pit as soon as that window's open, try to get as much time as I can. I really got to hope when I have the fresh tires that I don't cycle out into any traffic. Big run on the 48 car. I'm going to clear him well before getting into turn 1. 3.8 seconds off the lead. Newman pitting. All right. Oh my gosh. Jesus, Keegan. I just done did it there. Oh, well, yep, there we go. Dale Jarrett's upside down. Dang it. All right, we're okay. This is an exact reason why we had such a big points lead. That was not good at all. That looked terrible. It was a terrible crash. Jeff Gordon wins. Good for him. Tony Stewart finishes ninth. Big break for him in the standings. Where'd Dale Jarrett finish? Did he get a top 10? I don't see him. Oh, no, he might have wrecked out too. Because Dale Jarrett was the one that flipped. And yeah, Dale Jarrett also DNF'd. And Matt Kenseth. So, I mean, at least if we were to wreck, one of the guys that were racing for the championship would also gotten that wreck. But, yeah, I made a lot of enemies that race. Dang it. That's a season high for DNFs. In our championship season, we wrecked 4 times. That was the first time I wrecked out of a race in the second half of the season, but that could have easily been avoided. I was pushing way too hard that whole race. All right, we're okay. I think we still got a pretty decent points lead. Just completely destroyed that chassis, that race car, everything. So we'll go to the garage here first. Got to wait on the chassis overhaul. I can't overhaul the body, though, which I will definitely do, because it is going to be in desperate need of being overhauled. All right, so we'll do that. And I think we're on to Martinsville next. If I saw that correctly, yeah. Okay, so we should have a pretty decent short track engine, chassis, body. Let's have a better run at Martinsville. This is not the track to want to go to with a bunch of rivals, I'll tell you that much. Still got a 291-point lead over Stewart, even with him finishing 9th. And us finishing dead last with no laps left. I don't think Tony led any laps to get bonus points. But still over a race ahead of him. Dale Jarrett's still third, 373 back. And Jarrett was second in points, not anymore. We'll pull to third after his DNF at Charlotte. All right, so now we have to win out to get to 20 wins on the season. That ended our winning streak at 6 races, too. That was ugly. Oh, make sure I'm taking the right... Okay, I did. I want to make sure I was taking the right chassis and engine and all that. Second one down. And bodies at the top. I guess the body's the same body we used at Richmond and won with, but the engine and the chassis are overhauled. Michael Turner, Trainskate 1024. Thanks for tuning in. First DNF of the night. Hopefully it's the only one. I haven't DNF'd in a while. It's been a couple streams. We have wrecked since Daytona. All right, we'll have a better go of it. Never won at Martinsville. I'd like to have a grandfather clock. Actually DNF'd in this race earlier this season, so let's try to finish this one. Yeah, not a track to go to with a bunch of rivals. Pole. Not even going to run another lap. Oh, we were in the 18s on lap 1. 18-9. Not worried if Tony leads any laps. I just got to finish races. If I just finish races, I'm going to win this championship. And I did not finish the first race. We're okay. We're okay. No time to panic. No time to panic. We still got a massive points lead. This is the benefit of having as strong of a season as we've had. Unfortunately, my average finish was a 6.5 going into that last race until the DNF. It's probably above 7 now, at least. Dale Jarrett's only a minus 50? I thought it'd be more mad than that. Maybe I don't have any rivals going into the race. Yeah, exactly. Just stop the DNFs. Heck, top 20s these final 5 races would probably be enough to win the championship. Well, I don't want to say that. There's still 5 races left. We get down to the final 2 or 3 races, then we can probably get away with top 20s. But if we do that here on out, Tony Stewart goes out, wins like the last 5. I think he can probably still catch us. So I don't want to say it's that easy to necessarily win the title. But I mean, another 1 or 2 more top 10s, I would imagine that would be enough to keep a reasonable spot in the standings ahead of him. We could probably still afford 1 more DNF, but if we did have 1 more DNF, it'd be a lot tighter. I mean, it'd be about a 100-point gap between P1 and P2, which is comfortable, but it's not. You start to kind of panic a little bit, I guess, if it gets down that low, considering where it was at. I mean, it was over a 350-point lead 1 race ago, and now it's down to 291. So. All right, we're on the pole this time, so I'm not going to be back in traffic like it was at Charlotte, so that's good. And we got to stay out as long as we can. Expect a caution at some point during green flag pit stops, or maybe just before. We always get a caution at Martinsville. Even if it's not during green flag stops, we still tend to get a caution here. I think we had a yellow the one time, like really late in the race. I don't know if it was the last race we had here or sometime last season, but I remember having a caution restart with like less than 10 to go. So we always get a caution at this racetrack specifically. Yeah, career high in DNFs. Career high basically in every statistical category, whether it's good or bad. Laps led. Laps led wins, top 5s, top 10s. Already got a good launch off the start there. Oh, he's crowding me. No contact, though. Stayed out in front of him cleanly. All right. So I already led 1 more lap than I did at Charlotte. So that's good. Got to run some clean laps. Clean laps, stay out in front. Dale Jarrett's up to 2nd. Good thing he's at a minus 50. You got to be at a minus 60 to have them potentially try to wreck you. I say that and then watch him try to run through me getting into one of these corners. Then he'll be at a minus 60. We go side by side into a corner, I can almost guarantee we're going to accidentally make contact whether we went to or not. And then he's going to intentionally do it from that point on. We did have a 2nd place finish pretty much locked up here until I DNF'd on the last lap in our spring Martinsville race. So yes, I DNF'd there, but it was out of stupidity. Should only have thrown this points lead out even more if I didn't do something like that. I was going for the win and wrecked it. Final corner. I think I still finished like 13th though. I didn't lose out on that many points. Just because there wasn't as many cars on the lead lap with the caution we had in the middle of the race. Doing well for myself right now. I don't think I've ever even led this many laps in a Martinsville race before, so we've qualified out in front here a couple times before. I'll hang on for half a dozen laps, and then I'll lose the lead, and we're kind of maintaining right around a 1 second lead over Dale Jarrett. Now, the tires are still on the race car right now, though. We get 20-plus laps into the run, and I start pushing a little tighter. We'll see from that point on. because this body was the only thing that wasn't really overhauled from the last short track race we had at Richmond a handful of races ago. I kind of forgot to get that prepped and ready, but we're still doing pretty good though, all things considered. I mean, this and Bristol are going to be probably the toughest races to win in the career mode, no matter how fast we are, just because we always get a caution in these races, and you got to be on the right side of the pit strategy. I mean, I've had times where I've been trapped a lap down because I have to, pit. There's other cars that can run longer than me, and then we get a caution. So you just got to hope it happens before we have to hit pit road, but after several cars hit the pit road, just so that way, it takes a lot of the faster cars out of it. But here we go, lap 13. We're already catching lap traffic. It's not something I've had to deal with leading at Martinsville before, so hopefully I can do well for myself. I was just about to say I have to hope that I pass these guys super clean so I take care of the car and can make it to the end of the race. Hit the second car I had a chance to catch. Definitely can't be doing that. We're just now starting to pull away. They brake so much sooner than I do. I drive in so much deeper. I can't do that anymore with no clean air. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we definitely don't need heavy hits like that. Definitely going to want to repair damage on pit road, which is going to slow my pit stop up quite a bit too. Jesus! Oh, there goes the lead. Maybe. Dang it. Oh, Jarrett got a lap lead in there. There goes my 2-second lead. Struggling in lap traffic right now. Kind of turned down into me that time. Oh, you... There we go. I'll break him. Run away from him. Okay. Yeah, I just got hung up on Biffle's back bumper. I got back in the gas too soon. He was so slow off the corner that I ran into him, got hooked on him, and I got sideways. Then pass on the 26. Then pass on the 41. Back to 1.7 second lead again. Oh boy. Big wheel hop. Getting into 3. We've got some cars pitting this time. Yep. Jesus. David Green. Might want to carry a little bit more speed than that getting into the corner. Felt like he slowed down to 20 miles an hour. Then the next corner, slide right up into it. We're going to lose a lot of time if we don't get a caution because I'm going to stay out a lot longer than everybody else, but I really don't want to get trapped a lap down. Murray getting around me on those fresh tires. Just Gordon driving it into the inside wall, trying to get to me. Oh, look out, look out. Oh, that's going to be a yellow right there. Yep, there it is. I saw that happen in the whole way. I saw them making contact. One car was coming out of the pits as the other was trying to cut into pit road. I knew one of them was going into the barrels. And it was both of them. The 0 into the barrels and the 10 into the back of the 0. And then he backs up and pulls into it again. Oh, there's the caution. I'm glad I was to the outside of it and they didn't come back up the racetrack in front of me. That would have been terrible. All right, well, we can pit under the yellow. As predicted, we get a caution at Martinsville. And that's why I didn't short pit. All right, 4 tires and fuel. We need a quick stop, boys. Quick, clean stop. Keep the lead. I lost the lead, but then I got it back. Clinched the most laps led already. So we know we've led the most laps. Now we just got to capitalize. I don't know how far back in traffic we're going to be here, but hopefully we have a clean stop, and we'll just kind of go from there. Got to get through the field quickly. Hopefully we get through them cleanly. Both the cars that beat me out of the pits were lappers anyway. Just about hooked Herbie Sadler on pit road. We're in 4th. Yeah, we're not that far back. Okay, so that's good. It looks like we have anywhere between 10 to 16 cars on the lead lap. Flag back in the air. All right, so we only lost a couple of them. Let Ricky Craven go, and he drove it right into Michael Waltrip. He was one of the pulling line behind him and did. Oh boy, a lot of contact. I think Sadler got into Jeff Green there. Struggling when I was trying to pass lap cars earlier. I don't want those guys up ahead to pull away too much. Waltrip was a spot. I don't think Jeff Green is. Sadler and Harvick. Jesus, I just completely drove through Elliott Sadler. That was a smash and run. Up to 2nd. 19 to go. Harvick passing Sterling Marlin. So he's got a lot of clean air. It's going to be a while before he catches lap traffic. We'll catch lap cars for the end. It only took us 13 laps at the start of the race to catch him. A lot more single file this time, so we'll probably catch him earlier into the run this go around. Got to get by Kurt Busch and Sterling Marlin pretty quickly here. Kurt's blocking me. Come on, Kurt. I carried way too much speed. Come on. I am going to have to put the bump and run to Kurt Busch because he ain't letting me past him. I'm overdriving and trying to pass him clean. Come on, Kurt. Move. 3.1 behind Harvick. I didn't even get out to that big of a lead over Dale Jarrett. Harvick wasn't one of the faster cars in the field in the race, though. Kurt's kind of closing in on Marlin. I really got to hope Harvick was in lap traffic because I cannot get around Kurt Busch for the life of me. No intimidation button in this game, unfortunately. All right, Kurt. I waited too long to do that. I should have done that 5-6 laps ago. Bump and run, got around him. Hopefully I have an easier time trying to pass Sterling Marlin. Looks like he's going to try to block me too. Dang it. They're blocking me for it. Is Harvick pitting? He is. Well, it looks like we're going to be in the lead anyway. All right, don't have to push that hard anymore. I don't know why Harvick didn't pit at the caution. Mark Martin's in second. Still don't want to take it extra soft to the end, but 10 to go. Come on. 2.5 seconds. Sterling not letting me through, but I really don't want to make too much contact here and risk DNFing. As I say that, looks like we're going to pull off a bump and run at Sterling Marlin anyway. Got up into the wall. I sent him into the corner there. There's only 4 cars on the lead lap. Dale Jarrett's a lap down, but he's in 5th. For win number 16 on the season. Our first career grandfather clock. Wanted to win here so bad. We have a lot of side-by-side lap traffic ahead of us. My goodness. All right. Six to go. Still managing a decent gap over Mark Martin. So obviously he's going to have to pass all the cars we're passing too. Jeez. Jerry Nadeau driving through Greg Biffle. Looked like me earlier. Looked like me at Charlotte, actually. He just hasn't caused anybody to flip yet. The second time I ran in the back of Biffle on the exit of the corner. So slow. He's holding up so many cars. Probably why Jerry Nadeau rubbed and ran his way past him. Control Estes, thanks for tuning in. I'm actually going to be at the race on Sunday. Somebody blowing up down there. Bobby Labonte blowing an engine. Christian Fittipaldi outbreaking Greg Biffle. Forced Biffle into the wall there. 2 to go. Martin's trimmed it down to 2 seconds. Shouldn't really even have to pass another lap car. Looks like there's 2 lap cars between us right now. I think I'll be all right. I'm going to try to pass Christian Fittipaldi here. White flag, 1 to go. Usually I do live commentary streams for races I don't go to in person, so when the cup races are on, you'll have to tune into the channel. Kind of do my own commentary throughout the course of the race. Let's go, baby. I wanted to win here so badly. This has always been one of my favorite tracks growing up. Let's go. Back it up and give ourselves a little Polish victory lap. Thank you, people of Martinsville, Virginia. First career grandfather clock. Pretty happy about that one. Now I just got to win at Bristol, and I'll win at every short track. And the races I do go to in person, I have race highlight videos from the grandstand, so you can expect that for Sunday as well. I will not be at the Xfinity Series race tomorrow. I planned on really wanting to do live commentary for that, but unfortunately we're trying to book a flight for this weekend. The flight I have booked for Saturday is gonna overlap. Not with the race will be over before the flight goes out, but I have to be to the airport an hour and a half to 2 hours early. In regards of having to do that, I'm gonna have to leave like probably after the end of stage 1 of the race, probably middle of stage 2, somewhere around there. I end up having to leave. So because I can't stream the full race, I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow, unfortunately. All right. Well, that kind of sucks. We didn't really get a grandfather clock for this race. That must be the spring race of this game. Got a trophy though. We'll pretend like we have a grandfather clock. They usually give grandfather clocks for everyone at Martinsville, no matter the series of the race. But for whatever reason in this game, it looks like only the spring race we can get the grandfather clock. But max points stay, extending our points lead even further over Tony Stewart, who ends up finishing a lap down, but in 7th. Dale Jarrett a lap down, led some laps, finished 6th. No laps led for Tony Stewart. So 4 races to go, extending the points lead, getting all of our sponsorship bonuses for this one. That's pretty cool too. All right, 16 wins on the season. Whoa. All right, Thunderblade unlocked, I guess. Got the Aaron's Dream Machine unlocked. $6.52 million in the bank. Definitely going to have to overhaul that chassis I wrecked at Charlotte. So we'll do that right now. Overhaul that. Overhaul that engine I would have wrecked at Charlotte too. Alrighty. And then 1 race left of the body. So we'll get a super speedway body going and replace that short track body then, so we have one for Daytona for the 500 next season. And then we'll do the same thing with the chassis and the engine once those chassis and engine that are being worked on right now are done. All right, so I believe the magic number to clinch the championship 2 races early, I have to have a 312 point lead over Tony Stewart. I'm 330 ahead with 4 races to go. Jared's 403 back. Kevin Harvick up to 4th in points. Jeff Gordon's still 5th. And you got Johnson, Earnhardt Jr., Newman, Martin, and Kurt Busch are all within 10. My average finish is a 7.5, so it wasn't 6.5. That DNF at Charlotte dropped it down 1. My average start 6.6. Absolutely absurd. 27 top 10s most of the year, 24 top 5s, and obviously the most wins was 16. And by far the most poles. If we qualify in the pole one more time, we're going to qualify in the pole over half the races this season. All right. Got a really good Speedway chassis coming up. Speedway engine. And a really good Speedway body, too. It's going to give us a 73 overall car rating for Atlanta. I have never won at Atlanta, so another track we can try to get our first win at, our career there, just like we did with Martinsville. Actually, all the rest of the races this season are tracks I've never won at. Phoenix, Rockingham. Rockingham I finished 2nd at earlier this year, so we should have a pretty strong run there. Although we did suck in the fall race there last season for whatever reason, we stunk at Rockingham last year. Yeah, honestly, we finished within a position or 2 of Tony Stewart these next few races. Next 2 races, we'll clinch the championship 2 races early after the next race at Phoenix. Wow, 3rd on lap 1, 30.058. Should be able to get the pole, I would have to imagine. We were that quick on the first lap. Should be a pretty easy pull. Get to 20 pulls on the season, the rate we're going at. I think I did qualify on the pull at Rockingham earlier this year, so yeah, no doubt I'll be able to get at least 20 pulls because I should get this one. Guarantee at least Rockingham I'll get on the pole. There we go. 29.692. Picked up about 4/10, a little under 4/10 on that second lap. So that is a pole time. We got the pole by about 4/10. We were only a couple hundreds off of getting the pole in that first lap over Stewart, too.
We're live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for today's running of the Georgia.
Yep, Atlanta Spring, we did get collected in the big one. That's true. I did DNF at Atlanta earlier this year. It was our first one of the season. That was nothing of my own doing. That was some bad luck in that one. Yeah, so hopefully we don't see that kind of a crash again here today on the last lap. Who's lost in a shootout last night? Yeah, I think the Red Wings lost their season opener to the Devils on Thursday.
The McDonald's car.
The McDonald's car.
That is one heck of an accomplishment. His crew has got to be fired up. We should see another great run from him.
Technically, our top 5 streak is only one race because I wrecked the race before that, but all right. Not really a streak. I'll still take the praise. I hope they talk about how many championships I have like down the road. It's not like the same thing, like at the same point in the season every year. I hope like when I get to 4 titles, they'll say the same thing with like, now with Jeff Gordon or whatever for titles all the time or something like that. I hope they acknowledge some career statistics. So if we find a way to win these final 4 races, we'll get to 20 wins on the season and we'll get to 25 career wins. Or sorry, we're at 22 career wins now, so I guess we'd only have to win 3 of them. So we win 3 more races because we would have had 6 going into the season. We have 16 right now, so we're sitting at 22 career wins. So 3 more to get to 25. If I get the last 4 races won in a row this year, then we will eclipse 20 race wins on the year. This Blues got 1 point for the season standings. That was really early in the year. Shootout and duel in next stream. The duel will be, but the shootout will be in this stream. Hope iRacing brings back the pre-race in the next NASCAR game. I mean, they technically did that with NASCAR 21 Ignition. It's probably one of the better parts of the game, to be completely honest. And even that glitch sometimes. Alright, here we go. Good start, got that good launch out in front of Tony Stewart. Always get ran around through 1 and 2 on the restart at this racetrack. I only lost the lead though that time. And I might be able to get it back. I couldn't turn down. Dale Jarrett was there. I really wanted to cut underneath Stewart. Now I'll be able to into turn 1. Carry enough speed down the straightaway. Slide up in front of Tony. There we go. I don't know if I'm going to have speed to run away from these guys, but we'll see. Fastest mid-corner speeds on any 1.5 miles in this game. All right, Banks, going to get our first lap led of the day. Yes, it is. Tony Stewart got 5 bonus points in this race, too, already. Stewart and Jarrett keep going back and forth for second. Tony's going to take it back. Tony Stewart have another good year, though. I mean, if he finishes second in points, that'll be his third finish of second or better in the championship in the first 4 seasons of our career mode. Last year was our breakout year, but in the wins total at least, this year in the wins total and obviously in the season standings, I didn't even have a top 15 points finish before this year. We're going to look to not only win the championship, but clinch it before Homestead, the rate we're running at. I will say Tony Stewart seems like he's starting to run me back down just a little bit. I can maybe loosen this car up just a little bit more. Might allow me to carry just a little bit more straightaway speed into the corner and brake a little later. I'm scared it's going to be too loose off the exit, so I'm scared about or to make that adjustment change. I know it could be a little quicker. I'm pulling away from everybody except for Tony Stewart. Like, Tony Stewart's keeping up with me. Definitely want to stay within the same lap if possible of Stewart pitting. If he gets out ahead of us, might be game over. Shout out to you too. Thanks for tuning in. Terrible racing. Shut up. I know I'm sending it deep into the corner. You really can't arc it off in this game. It's really weird. I mean, you can, but I have a hard time trying to get my car to cut all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. I think a lot of it is because all the aero stuff is like in the 70 overalls. So I'm getting the most out of it with the setup I have, more so than the actual equipment itself. I can't arc it off into the corner quite like I would like to. I have to flatline it in, kind of carry a lot of speed, brake more, deeper into the corner. That's not a traditional racing line. I'm well aware, but it's effective enough to get the job done. I just have to force to race this car a little bit different. There's some tracks I'm able to arc it off still, but a lot of them I do have to race it like this. A lot of the flatter tracks I can get away with arcing the corner off, but I know some bank tracks, for whatever reason, I can't get it to cut all the way to the bottom. Kind of start high and it stays there or cuts to the middle, and I can't get back to the gas as soon as I want to off the exit because there's really no multi-groove racing in this game at any track. I have so much less downforce in the car than a lot of these other cars do too. Like, even on the straightaways, it gets kind of skatey sometimes. Not in this race, it feels like it's pretty glued to the track, but there's some tracks down the straightaways, it feels like I barely touch the analog stick and it moves a lot. That's another reason I kind of like to stay away from the wall a little bit. I'm sure if we have better downforce, again, it's not like in the low 70s. The overall, I'm sure I'll have enough grip to get back up there. 1.1 seconds ahead of Stewart. Ay. A little bit of a slide there. Definitely get it a little looser off the corners. I don't think I'm going to make a wedge adjustment. I'm just scared I make a wedge adjustment, I'll loosen it up, and it'll help me in the short run, but the long run is going to get extraordinarily loose, which I don't really want. I don't think Tony's pit yet. Right at halfway right now. Tony's still out there on the racetrack. 2.3 seconds ahead of him. I'm going to pit this time because I don't want to risk him potentially beating me to pit road, cycling out in front of me because we are pretty even the first handful of laps into the run. I'm going to pit this time. 4 tires and fuel. Don't speed. There we go. All right, 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments here. Tony staying out. We only have to lead another lap or two to clinch the most laps led. So I'd like to think pitting before him, I should be able to cycle out ahead of him as long as we have a clean pit stop. All right, come on. Clean stop, boys, needed if we're going to win. Oh, no. I knew when they cut to him he was going to do something dumb. I was waiting for it. Dang it. All right, well, that was costly right there. That might give Stewart the lead. He pitted a lap after me, so we really got to make this get up to speed lap really good for ourselves. He's on pit road right now. Jackman had to fall on his face. Just getting off turn 4. Tony's leaving the pits. There he is. We're going to have the lead. He's going to close that gap on us, and he's going to have a lap fresher tires. Drove it a little too deep there, but all right, we're still out in front. It was a mistake. Just tighten the gap up a little bit, but honestly, the pit stop could have been a lot slower than what it was. It was kind of a quick recovery, all things considered. It was still in the 16s. 2.4. It was a 2.7 second lead, so Stewart gained 0.3 even with us pitting 1 lap before him. He's going to have a lap fresher tires. I don't think that's going to be enough to be that much quicker than us. And, I mean, we'll probably catch a lap traffic for the end of the race, but honestly, I don't think we're going to catch more than 1 or 2 cars. So I don't think we're going to have to really worry about too much lap traffic in this race. Back of the field seemed pretty competitive because I have 11 to go. I was pretty equal with Stewart that last lap. I mean, every lap, the tires make a huge difference, short pitting or not. Especially, the main reason is because of how accelerated, the tire wear and everything is with this being only a 10% race. So you got to imagine in a 100% race, it's, every lap on your tires is almost equal to 10 laps. Maybe not quite that exaggerated. Maybe like every 2 laps is a lap difference or a 10-lap difference, but definitely a big difference. Like pitting too late could burn you. How short the races are. 10th quicker than the 20 that last lap. Sterling Marlin's up to 3rd, by the way. I just noticed. Greg Biffle. Another 10th quicker than Stewart that last lap. Got a run on the Biff. Oh boy. Came together there. Kind of came off the wall a little bit as he was coming up. We're all right. Got around him though. Center of the corner, he was walking up the racetrack quite a bit. I thought for a minute there he was going to slide up right in front of me. Didn't really slow me down too much. I have room to the bottom to get by the 131. Oh, Ryan Reed's running the Xfinity race tomorrow. That's pretty cool. Haven't heard his name in the NASCAR realms in a while. Former Roush guy, too. The Xfinity Series. My original favorite Cup driver, Greg Biffle, always driving the 16 car. I always remember Ryan Reed running the 16 in the Xfinity Series. Had a couple of wins at Daytona in his career. He saw a super speedway racer. I always thought he did fairly well on the road courses, too, if I remember correctly. Extraordinarily low line. Yeah, I didn't watch much of that game last night. I heard Kelsey went off, though. Probably could have lifted there. Kept running into her in the Sadler. All right, 2 to go. Got that 3.4 second lead. By Jack Sprague, and won't have to catch another lap car the rest of this final lap. Let's get back-to-back wins again. Get our first career win at Atlanta, and move another step closer to the championship. Let's go, baby. That's another dub. Quick little burnout sesh and then save the motor.
A rare caution for you.
Let's go. Only on points over by 151. Oh, yeah, I was kind of thinking of the point standings in NASCAR 07. The championships we were having there because they awarded the race winner more points. Well, even better for us. First career win at Atlanta. As we win the Georgia 500. Not the first 500 we've won this season. All right. On to Phoenix with a shot to clinch the title. Clinching 2 races early, we'll still run the final 2 races. I'm not simulating any races on the career mode. We want a shot to get to 200 career wins. I wonder if it's possible to win every single race. There's no way. Like, at some point, my picker is going to mess up throughout the season. Like, it's kind of inevitable. You're not going to come back from it because you only got 1 pit stop in most of these races. And even if we have a perfect picker, I guarantee they'll still make 1 or 2 mistakes in a long season. I mean, I guess we could hope that we have a big enough lead. I wonder if it's possible to get Richard Petty's record, though, for 27 wins. Honestly, this season, we would have capitalized on the races I could have. We wouldn't have gotten to that many, but I think we could have had about 22, 23, 24 wins by season's end. So right now we're at 17 with 3 to go. Not counting the Bud Shootout and the Gatorade Duel at Daytona. 25 top 5s. 2 more top 10s away from 30. 7.3 average finish. We can get that down below 7. We win out here. Definitely doable. Head to the garage. Get a super speedway body in the works. Two race overhaul there. Definitely gonna have to still make some upgrades to have a better chance of winning at certain tracks. Like Michigan, I just haven't had like race winning speed. Kind of like 3rd through 6th most of the time when I run there. Auto Club kind of the same way. I'm like in the back half of the top 10. Finally got a win at Pocono, but yeah, there are specific tracks out there. You know, Bristol haven't finished better than 3rd. Specific tracks out there that we still need a bit more speed to win at, but I would like to collect all the trophies at some point this career mode too. We'll probably be ranking 5th in earnings for like the rest of our career as long as we don't have a terrible finish in the Daytona 500 as season start. All right, chance to clinch the championship. Bring our best speedway chassis equipment to each of these races. And we'll head to Phoenix. So as long as we finish within 39 points of Tony Stewart in this, 37 points. Finish within 37 points and Tony Stewart will clinch the tie. Well, we have the tiebreaker, so 38. 38 points of Tony Stewart will win the championship in this one. Still clinched 2 races early, even with the DNF we ended up having at Charlotte. We'll leave the setup where it's at. We'll jump into qualifying and kind of go from there. Yeah, I gotta be off the gas a little bit longer than that. Turns 1 and 2. A mistake in 3 and 4 there. All right, this was probably never going to be the pole lap anyway. Run one more, try to get it. Oh, I still got the pole. Screw it. I didn't even run anywhere near a perfect lap there. Kind of got back in the gas and lifted a bit off turn 2. I scraped the wall in the back stretch, and I still ended up getting the pole.
Joe Moore and Bonnie Hall from the beautiful Arizona desert at the 1 Mile Phoenix International Raceway for today's Checker Auto Parts 500K. Tell us more about this unique track, Bonnie.
Oh, it's beautiful here, not the race, and it's straight in the mountains. This is quite an interesting racetrack. First, it's known as the world's fastest 1 mile.
How do you say the Australia Mountains? I never knew what the names were of those mountains around there. Beautiful area.
Impressive average finish record for McDonald's car.
You know, I watch you practice.
I don't think TV does it justice.
Sometimes you can just tell by watching the car on the track who's going to be fast on race day without even looking at the speed charts.
26.194.
Jarrett was part of one of the tightest point battles in NASCAR history in 1997. He ended up finishing second to Jeff Gordon.
And he didn't finish second by much, only 14 points. And Mark Martin wasn't too far behind either. Those last couple of races in the season are pretty exciting when a championship is on the line.
Cheerios Dodge is having some trouble in the points this year.
And of course, nobody wants to get on the bottom of that points list. You have to work extra hard to pick up spots. Not an easy task to dig yourself out of a hole in this series.
All right. Tony Stewart, this title's mine, buddy. Try to win the race and the championship today. The season finale is at Phoenix now, and I have a chance to clinch it at Phoenix back then, even when it wasn't the season finale. Funny how that works out. Not just one, but 2 races early. That would be impressive, especially for a first title run. Hopefully I don't have a championship hangover like Joey Logano did from last year to this year. I'd like to think that won't happen, but I guess you never know.
Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford and the M&M's Ford.
31 laps away from a championship. Let's go. Don't even have to win this thing. Just got to finish within a couple spots of Tony. Objective number 1 in this race. Win the championship at all costs. Don't even have to worry about the final 2 races. Objective number 2. It's within sight. You know, I can still go for that win. Still got to think big picture, though. Clinch it early. We deserved it. Still power sliding, getting into turn 3 a little bit. And turn 1, apparently. I can sail it deep into the corner and get it to stick. At least in turns 3 and 4, a little harder in 1 and 2. A lot longer turn. kidding. I still want to win this race really badly. Especially never winning at Phoenix before. I don't even think I've had a top 10 run here on the career mode yet. Well, we might have last season. Might have been somewhere close to the top 10. I mean, there is definitely a few other objectives. Obviously, again, I said it from the beginning. I want to go for a record 8 championships over the 20 seasons in the career mode that you can run in this game, and I also want to be able to get the most career wins. Yes, the next objective after that, or along with that, try to maybe lead a lap in every race, or that'll be hard to kind of keep track of throughout the course of the year, but I'm sure I'll be able to do it. I keep track of a lot of other stats with the other season modes we do, so that's something maybe I could keep track of on my own. But that'd be pretty cool. Not DNFing in the whole season, I know I can do. It's a lot harder in this game because DNFs are relatively easier, but I know I can do it. Even though I haven't had less than 3 in a season yet, but I know I can get it done at some point. It does suck though, because some of it is out of my control. Like Daytona was out of my control, and Atlanta was out of my control. So that definitely is going to be something hard. You're going to have quite a bit of luck go your way. But the best position to be is if we can qualify out at the front. Run like we are right now. We won't have to worry about that. Worry about risking a DNF at any point. By the way, starting to really pull away from Tony Stewart. He's had a good last several runs. Try to close that gap for the championship, but outside of Charlotte, he hasn't been able to close it. I mean, winning the last 2 races. And lead the most laps in those races, too. And this one, we're already just a couple laps away from leading the most already. One of the shorter races of the season. Only 19 to go at the line. Halfway at the line this time by. 4.2 seconds ahead of Stewart. Isn't pit yet. Right front in the red. Oh man, I got hung on him. Definitely wasn't trying to make contact with him, let alone that long. I got stuck on his left rear. I couldn't get off him. Just clinched the most laps left. I'm going to pit this time now. All right, 4 tires and fuel. Championship hangover like Tony Stewart did. Stewart missed the chase entirely in 2006. That is true. Well, not this 2006 season. He's second in points. Dale Jr., the defending champ, coming into this one. I think he's like, what, 7th in points? Definitely had a step backwards from where he was at a season ago when he won the championship. Got 9 wins along the way. Clean pit stop. There we go. Under 16 seconds. Tony might have gotten a lap wide in there if he stayed out a little bit longer than me. Might as well just to try to keep the championship alive. You know, maybe I get trapped a lap down. Guess I would have been on the lead lap anyway. Cycle back out in front of him. He might have pitted the same lap as me because I think he would have ended up having me a lap down. He had stayed out long enough, but I just don't think he did. Jeff Gordon still out on the track. Thought that was him for a second. It is not. Now I gotta learn to pass cars clean. Dealing with lap traffic for the first time. Why Bodine Fittipaldi that well? A 4-second lead. Stitch, thanks for tuning in. Ten to go. Jesus, you want to give me room? Oh my God. What is that all about? Where was his spotter at? Leader outside. Spotter was like, oh, don't do that. The guy's trying to win the championship. All right, that was very good on my behalf. Cut that 45 car a little bit of slack. Maybe it isn't that easy. Sorry, Casey. Well, that wasn't a clean last lap and a half. Oh, lap car got the wall in front of me. Jesus. Ay, ay, ay. All over the place right now. On we go. Come on, calm down, calm down. I don't have to pass all these guys. Really don't even have to pass any of them. Any more of them, at least. Stan Barrett's giving me a lot of room. You know, if this is Dale Jarrett's final season, I hope he finishes second in points and can beat out Tony Stewart here at the end. He's lost to him here these last few races. A DNF at Charlotte with me really hurt him because he was second before that. Might not have even really clinched the championship early if Jarrett didn't get caught up in that wreck with me at Charlotte. Yeah, I'm not going to be stupid here. I've already made contact with quite a few lap cars at the end of this thing. Not about to get squeezed into the wall again either. I just overcorrected that. Alright, we're good. 2 to go. I'm there, Johnny. Oh, God. Oh, God. Alright, 1 to go. Let's get out of here. Driving like an idiot here these last 5 or 6 laps of the race. I got glued to the wall. I thought it was going to loop around on me. Alright, it wasn't clean at the end, but a win is a win is a win. And that is going to clinch the championship. Let's go. Let's go. Career win number 24. And a championship earned. I'm still not going to burn it down because we got 2 more speedway races left, so I'm going to save this engine. Moved it around a little too much there. Alright. A little Polish victory lap. I don't think I hit that curb once in this race, so that's a massive improvement. Oof. Let's go. The champion. Yeah. John Cena. Can't see me. The champ is here. All right, we're 1 win away from career win number 25. We have 2 races this season to do it. We win them both, we could have a 20-win season. So there's still something to race for these last 2 races, statistically speaking. But we have won the championship with this win. We have won at least half the races on the schedule. 18, let's go. Let's go. Season 4. I will say, when I did this career mode the first time on my own, it took me 4 seasons to win a championship also. I was nowhere near this dominant in my 4th season, though. But I was also a little bit better in Season 3. I think I finished like 8th and 9th in the standings. I ended up like 18th last year. So, you know, it was worse in Season 3, and I thought we'd have a chance at the championship coming into this year. And it was a close battle for the first 2/3 of the season. And these final dozen races, we won 6 in a row, and then, you know, we DNF'd at Charlotte, and then we win the next 3. So, I mean, what a stretch. Definitely putting up some video game numbers here at the end of the season, and as a result, what going into last night's stream, we had just a 40-point lead over Dale Jarrett, and we ended up clinching the championship 2 races early. That is insane. Jarrett DNF and Charlotte kind of helped us be able to clinch 2 races early. We probably could have clinched 1 race early. If I went at Rockingham, in hindsight, we would have ended up clinching the race early anyway, but 2 races early definitely helped. All right, so got to overhaul the Super Speedway chassis. Get that ready to go for Daytona. And then same thing with the Super Speedway engine. Get that overhauled as well. Three more races on the shop edition. Points races, of course. We will run the Bud Shootout on this stream for the following season as well. But we won't start the rest of Speed Weeks probably until I get back from from Vegas. Just one at Phoenix. That's why I got that misconstrued. Yeah, you understand what I was trying to say there. It's late. Somebody get pulled over outside the outside my apartment. Here's some sirens going on. All right, so we'll head into the Rock. We'll try to get another win under our belt. A 73 overall car rating. Yeah, that win at Texas just absolutely opened the floodgates. But even then, I had, 5 wins on the season through Daytona? The summer Daytona race, I had 5 wins on the year, and then, now we're at 18. We had 13 wins in the second half of the season alone. It's insane. Won 4 in a row twice this season. This will be 4 wins in a row again if I win this. This will be 3 different times I'll have 4 wins in a row this year. If I can win at Rockingham, which I've never won at this racetrack, and we finished second in the spring race here, so let's try to go for the win this time. I did qualify on the pole earlier this year, so should be able to at least qualify on the pole. Pit crew costed me the win earlier this year. Hopefully they don't do that again. 5th on lap 1. I didn't carry as much speed as I would have liked there. Cut the entry of the corner off quite a bit. Still got the pole, 23.285. All right, starting out front. Let's get that dub.
We're live from the North Carolina Speedway, otherwise known as the Rock side of today's NASCAR race, the Top Secret 400, right here on MRN. Drivers say this place can be one difficult track to master.
Tires, and more tires. You better
Tires.
take care of your Eagles when you come to this place. Otherwise, you'll be sliding up into the wall before you know it.
McDonald's car has really focused in on his qualifying runs this year.
Oh, yeah. You don't say. We've got, 20 poles? 21? Something like that?
Busch is currently in the top 10 in points.
19?
These guys are very happy with their top 10 season so far. Hopefully they can
I think the pole at Phoenix gave us 20 poles on the season, so that should be 21.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is clinging to the top 10 points position coming into this race.
You've been working hard this season, and it is paying off so far. You'll need a good finish in this one again.
Starting 37th. The defending champion will not go back-to-back. And I don't even think he's going to get a top 5 points finish either. Wallace outside of the front row. Wade Solinsky, thanks for tuning in.
Let's see how they line up for the start.
McDonald's car, the NASCAR Racing Cup points leader, will be starting from pole. In the second row are the Hotel Dodge and the Pine Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 3 are the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. The fourth row has
Or it didn't go well. That's not good.
Chevrolet and the Lowe Chevrolet.
It's over now, so that's good.
Starting the race from row 5 will be the GM Goodrich Chevrolet and the Pfizer Ford.
All right. Let's try to get our first career win at Rockingham. Man, big block on Newman there. Oh, I jammed on the brakes, not trying to hit the 23. A lot of contact with Michael Waltrip. This thing's a little too loose. Wee bit. Oh my gosh, it's sideways. Might have to put a little wedge into it. Kenny Wallace is out here leading at Rockingham. Led the first 3 laps of the race. Yeah, I don't like the handling of this thing at all. Dang, where did Kurt Busch come from? Just blew around me. Oh my goodness, the handling is just not good in traffic. Oh boy, oh boy. Kurt did not take that corner deep at all. Well, the way the early going of this race has gone, this is still going to be a difficult race to try to win. I didn't feel like I blew that corner that time. It's too loose. Tried to back the corner up a little bit more that time, and I'm still loose. Red Crypto, thanks for tuning in. All right, well, back up to third. Just going to have to deal with how loose it is for right now, and then just make that wedge adjustment when we get to that first pit stop. More spacing we have between cars, it's a little bit easier for me. It does seem like Mark Martin's run down Tony Stewart as well as me. I think Matt Kenseth won this race earlier this season. I think. All right. Newman was closing in on Stewart. We got by, or I said Newman. Martin was closing in on Stewart. We got to Martin before he got to the 20, so that's good. Still haven't led a lap in this race. I mean, bonus points don't matter now. We already clinched the championship, but all right. Finally into the lead for the first time all race. After qualifying on the pole, took me 13 laps to actually lead a lap. Picker's gonna have to be on it because we obviously don't have that big of a lead. Big thing is right now, I want to just win these last two races, get to 20 wins on the season. Massive. And get 2 new trophies in the trophy case while we're at it. Finally out to at least a 1 second lead. Somebody blowing up. It is Jeremy Mayfield. Red Wings upgraded the goal horn. I wonder if it's noticeably going to sound different from what it sounded before. As long as it doesn't sound like the Canadians' horn, because that sounds like a freaking siren. Loud, obnoxious, and annoying. Only 1.8 seconds ahead of Mark Martin still. Like to beat him onto pit road, so I'm going to pit right now. Pretty good pit road entry. Going to take that half round of wedge out of it. Or sorry, I'll put a half round into the race car, try to tighten it up a little bit. Mark Martin on pit road right behind me, so we pitted at the exact same time. There you go. Make that wedge adjustment. Try to not have it so free on entry. Might have to back the middle of the corner up a little bit more. So we'll be tighter than before. Come on, drop the jack and go. Let's go. All right, got in. Oh, man. Oh, no. Got to keep up with them. This is a good race right here. Oh, man, just got out in front of him. That was a tight race off of pit road. With the eventual leader. Hopefully tighten the car up is the way to go. I hope it's not going to be too tight. That's the big thing. Just need more grip. Sails off tighter into the corner, but I get the cut I need without getting super loose, and I should be able to take care of the tires better throughout the run. So the long run speed's going to be a little bit quicker. I might be giving up on the short run a little bit. Oh, no. Mark got around me, though. Oh, I didn't need that. Now I'm just pushing it extremely hard, trying to keep up with him. Ugh. Well, it's the battle for the race win at Rockingham. All clear. Back and forth. What a battle. What a battle. Actually stayed in front of him through 3 and 4 that time. To battle our way through lap traffic here pretty soon, too. I have to watch out for some of those other cars on even fresher tires than me and Mark, because me and Mark are on equal tires. I know Harvick's in third. I wonder if he might be quicker than both of us. We battled each other for a little bit, which obviously slowed us down. Hopefully lap traffic doesn't slow us down too much. And Steve Park's all the way at the back. What's he doing back here? $11 to go. Harvick was a tenth quicker than me that last lap. He hasn't caught any of the lap cars yet, though. Hasn't caught Mark Martin yet either. Hopefully Martin holds him up a little bit. I mean, I might be sliding the tires a little more deeper into the run, kind of like I was in the first half of that last run, but I am passing lap cars cleanly, so that's going pretty well for me. I slide the car a little bit, but if I'm still keeping it off the wall and passing lap cars cleanly, I guess it's not really hurting me much. 1.6 ahead of Martin. Harvick right behind him. Harvick did get up to second, but he's 2.9 seconds off the lead. He's definitely running out of laps to try to run me down. how quickly we were able to get to 25 wins after such a slow start, only having one win in our first 2 seasons. We're going to get 24 wins in a 2-season stretch. We still got one more race left this year at Homestead. We can get 25 wins in a 2-season stretch. That'd be insane. And yes, Dale Jr. was able to get 24 the first 2 seasons of our career mode. So not like I'm the only one to do something similar. Oh, can I actually lead the most laps this race too? I didn't think that was going to be possible. Considering it took me 13 laps to get to the lead. I was battling back and forth with Martin there for a little bit following the green flag pit stops. Definitely taking control in the long run. Pulling away from Martin and Harvick. Harvick in second now. Slide getting in. Let's go. Career win number 25. 25. Put that one in the books. Another new winner at Rockingham. His name's Keegan Schneider. Thank you. Save the engine for Homestead. Try to get to 20 wins on the season.
Not a single caution lap.
Let's go. Could be eating McDonald's for life this season we're having. One free Big Macs for life. I don't really go for Big Macs. Like I was always more of a quarter pounder guy. Double quarter. Give me double quarters for life. I do that, I'm gonna end up looking like Brendan Gaughan here in a couple weeks. I get double quarter pounders every day. 3 meals a day because you get to eat it for free, save money. All right. 4.2 second margin of victory over Kevin Harvick. Tony Stewart third. Dale Jarrett ninth. Rusty Walls get to top 10. I'd imagine Rusty's probably going to retire. He went past 1 year longer than he did in real life, so I'd like to think he's probably going to end up retiring sometime soon. Mark might retire pretty soon, too. He was supposed to retire in 06 originally there with Roush, and then he came back at a part-time deal. Then he ended up, of course, full-time Hendrick for a few years there, a little later in his career, too. All right. Race at Homestead, and then we'll run the Bud Shootout to start next season as well. We locked the championship up at Phoenix, adding to the points lead still with that max points day at Rockingham. Tony Stewart's still second in the standings. Tony's 130 points ahead of Dale Jarrett, so he's almost all but locked up second place unless he DNFs and Jarrett has a solid run. In this final race, we're sitting at 21 poles, 19 wins, 27 top 5s, 30 top 10s, 6.1 average start, and a 6.9 nice average finish. So It was down to a 6.5 at its lowest there, middle of the year, end of the year, but that DNF at Charlotte kind of did me in there. I don't want to overhaul anything else because I'm going to hope to can't buy people necessarily. They're fake people anyway, but upgrade my pit crew and all that for next season. First NASCAR championship got your minus 100 rivals Chelsea. Well, I never really, I probably have had minus 100 at some points in the career mode, but this season, for the most part, I haven't had to deal with many guys. Right around the 600 All-Star break, I had to deal with Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch there for a few races, which was costing us some good finishes there for a close while. But, I mean, we finished top 10 here in this last race at Homestead. We're going to finish in the top 10 all but 5 races this year. 4 of them were DNFs, and the other one was a 13th at Martinsville. Which, I mean, I guess that was technically... No, that was a DNF, technically. What other race did I not finish in the top 10 but still finish the race? Was it Dover? Dover, that's right. Dover I finished. No, I still came back to get a top 5 there. Honestly, don't remember. I don't remember a race that I finished that I did finish outside the top 10. It must have been really early in the year then. Before we just went on a rail after Texas. Got that second win. Oh, no, Auto Club is a 10th place finish. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well. Let's run this final race. 25 career wins. Let's go for 26. Let's go for 20 win season. Get our best speedway stuff for this first race. .72 engine power. .73 overall car rating. Darlington Spring. I was thinking of DNF there for some reason. I know I finished outside the top 10 in the All-Star race, too. I finished 14th. But that obviously wasn't a points race. That was mainly Kurt Busch's doing there late in that one. All right, let's try to go for 22 poles on the season. The new Rocket Man. Had quite a few poles last season, too. Car feels a little loose. Sixth on lap 1. It's fast. Should be pole. Yep, 30.306. Let's go. 22 poles on the season. Let's go for 20 wins on the year. Let's do it. I'll keep the setup where it's at right now. If I have to make any adjustments in the race, I will. Green, green, green. Give me that 21 season. You seem to think we would have had to win 11 out of the last 12 to get to 20 wins. That's crazy to think I had 9 wins on the year. Only 9, but it's still a lot. 9 wins on the year through 24 races. And then the final 12, I end up winning 11 of them. I have a feeling this car is going to be extraordinarily loose on the long run. Because it feels a bit free right now. I only got to go 13 laps if I split this thing in half, though. So we'll see where it's at around lap 13. Shouldn't have to deal with too much lap traffic in this one. Being just a 400-mile event. I'm going to take the excess rows into the pits. Well, I don't think I'll need to if I'm far enough ahead of these guys. The only reason that hurt me is because I slammed into the side of another car coming into the pits. That's why I hit the barrels that one year. That was like 2 seasons ago. I know last season I got on the pit road perfectly fine. There's no one around me. Let me store it up to second. Probably a good thing I left the setup the way it is. I think for next season, if I get out to like a big championship lead early in the year this time, because it did take me 2/3 of the year to really start stretching the points lead out this season, with having 3 of the 4 DNFs in the first half of the year. But if I get out to a better start next year and I'm dominating early, I think I'm gonna just start at the back for the races I have won at, like the trophies I've gotten, and then the trophies that I haven't received yet for winning at specific tracks or specific races at tracks. Like a lot of the spring races I haven't won yet. I'll still qualify for those. Try to make it a little more difficult on myself now that if we have 20 wins in one season. Although, maybe I won't do that next season. I want to see if I can break Richard Petty's record for the most wins in a single season first. I think I should try to do that. Try to go for 28 wins, break that record, and then, consider starting last for races I haven't won at. And again, we get to 28 wins, we'll probably have already won everywhere at that point, but I guess you never know for sure. Like I said, there's still a few tracks that were pretty tough on me this year. Considering there were 5 races I didn't get top 10s in, so. Definitely pulling away in this one. I mean, yeah, it's a little loose, but it's not unbearable at all. Even 9 laps in. Jeff Gordon within a couple tenths of Tony Stewart, too. Might have a battle for second going on. Goodness, I sailed it off way too deep. I didn't think I was going to catch it. I was on the cast for a long time there. Mainly because I got back into it a little too soon. Plus breaking a little later. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Not in that instance, at least. A lot of smoke getting into turn 3. Might have been a near accident last lap. Yeah, I'm not going to make any adjustments. Glad I didn't tighten it up. Would have been quite as quick if I did that, and it's definitely bearable here. I had to make the change at Rockingham. It was just too loose on entry. Here it's nowhere near as bad. A few cars on pit road yet. Let that clear out just a little bit more. Tony Stewart's still on the track. I think he's pitting that time. So I think Tony Stewart just pitted, so I'll pit this time too. We'll have 10 laps to go when we make our way off the pit road. All right, clean pit road entry. We'll go 4 tires and gas. Jeff Burton got a lap lead in there. Four tires. Let's go. Gonna be the leader pretty easily here. We get back to turns 1 and 2. Jeff Burton led a couple laps during green flag pit stops, and it's going to be it for him and everybody else. Stay green to the end. We're going to have a 20-win season. Won the championship already, but we'll actually get to see the trophy. .4 seconds ahead of Stewart. So he had a quick pit stop and pit in a lap or 2 before us. He was able to cut that gap down a little bit. It's about 5 seconds back at one point. Seven to go. Still don't even know that I'm going to catch any lap cars. Thanks for a much cleaner race for myself. Only other thing we'll have to do on this stream is run the Bud Shootout race-wise. Hopefully we can hire an even better pit crew, hire a better crew chief, all that good stuff. We can have a better shot at winning some of those races we didn't win earlier in the season. We definitely won most of them late in the year. Charlotte's the only trophy I'm going to have to get within the last dozen races of the season for next year. Didn't win a single Charlotte race. That was one of my better mile-and-a-half tracks coming into this season based off of last year. Didn't win any of them. That includes the All-Star race. Finished second in the 600, DNF'd in the fall race. Don't get good starting spots, which really hurt me in those races. All-Star races. Nothing of my own doing. It's all random draw for that, especially for that final segment, too. It's only 5 laps. We started 5th. I mean, it's not possible to get to the lead, but then we got shafted by Kurt Busch first turn, and that pretty much cost us any sort of shot of winning that race right then and there. We catch these 2 lappers up here, and that'll be it. Side by side with each other for about a full lap. Just in time for me to catch him and take him 3 wide. Ready to go. All right, easily got to clear him before we get to our braking zone in turn 1. Cars and Thomas Productions, thanks for tuning in. Oh yeah, Greg Biffle was my favorite driver. Original favorite NASCAR driver. And they were 3 wide further up ahead. Oh man, they made contact. Saw some sparks flying. 2 to go. Don't wreck in front of me because we have to race back to the line. I won the championship. About to win another race. Let's go. One to go. It's drifted into the 26. I don't know how I kept it that low, honestly, as much as it slid. Slid more sideways than up. Yep, Blaney's my favorite now. Speaking of Biffle, there he is. Playing defense. He doesn't want to finish the race a lap down, but he's gonna. Let's go. 20-win season, championship, 26 career wins. Let's freaking go. Dominant season as we get our first NASCAR Winston Cup title. And you can bet I'm going to run this engine until she blows. I deserve it now. Technically, I deserved it after Phoenix, but I still wanted to win these last 2 races first. Now we can blow it all the way up. Yeah! Yeah!
There weren't very many lane changes.
Blaney make it to the finals? I hope so. He's been in the round of 8 not every year since 2017, but he's been in the round of 8 a lot. He was eliminated round of 16 in 2020, and then he was eliminated round of 12 one year with Penske too. I think that was 2018. He was eliminated in the round of 12. So I mean, he's made the championship he's made the round of 8 3 years in a row now. So I'm hoping one of these years he gets the championship 4. I don't think he has the speed to do it this year. Unfortunately, I think Buescher's got the best chance for Ford into these next 3 races, but it's all about not making mistakes. Don't make any mistakes on pit road, and if you have like 4 of the 8 drivers, and just one of these last 3 races before Phoenix, if just one of them have a speeding penalty, and you score enough stage points in every race, he can get in. So you just got to not make a mistake, and I think he can get in at least. And honestly, considering how fast he was at Phoenix in the championship race last year, he probably would have won if Logano wasn't racing for the championship. And Blaney just kind of ran a second behind him, was clearly faster than him, led the most laps in the race too. But yeah, I think I mean he gets to Phoenix, he has a shot. I just don't think he's going to get there. I don't think he's going to get there, but you just never know. Just can't make any mistakes. Got to keep yourself in it. So I don't think he's going to go out and win one of these 3 races. So he's going to need a little help, especially being below the cutoff line with not as many playoff points as some of those other guys ahead of him. And they're above the cutoff line. I think he's minus 12 points to start the playoffs, which obviously isn't a lot, but every point matters. I mean, how many times Martinsville at the end of the second to last race of the year, it's within like 1, 2, 3 points, like all the time. Last year it obviously was. The year before that with Harvick, or what was that? 2020 with Harvick. It was too. There's been other instances. Obviously, it's been within a point or two. Also, get to this round. This top 8 are always so competitive with each other from a speed standpoint. All right, another win. Like I mentioned, 21 season. The stream is not done yet. We got to go through all the off-season stuff, and then we will run the Bud Shootout as well from next season. Get that clicked away, so we can just run the rest of the season after that. But we won our first career championship. I'll tell you what, Blaney makes it to the championship 4. I think I got to go to Phoenix. I said that last year. I still ended up going anyway, but I mean, if he makes it the shot at the championship, just being my favorite driver, I've got to go. I've got to go. In case he does win the championship, but I need to be there. That'd be about as good as him winning the Daytona 500 and being there in person for that. I was there in person for him to win at my home track in Michigan, and that's the only time I've ever seen him win, so that was pretty cool. But that would probably be the only other thing that could top it, really. Finally got to see him win in person and being at my home track. The only races, honestly, it could be better for me in person to watch him win would be the 500 and the championship. Watch IndyCar Formula One. I mean, not much. More IndyCar than Formula One. I've been to a few IndyCar races. Went to Mid-Ohio last year, Indy 500 last year. I'd like to go back to the 500 sometime. Maybe next season I will. I only live 4 hours from Indy, so it's feasible. Mid-Ohio is, well, now, since I moved back in the spring, it's probably closer to a 2-hour drive for me to get to Mid-Ohio now, but still within drivable distance. I'd like to, if they went back to Michigan again, I'd definitely go to that race too, because it's only about 50 minutes from me. Oh, definitely I would fly. I flew last time. I just can't get that much time off of work. I mean, if I saved my 2 weeks of vacation, and like used them back to back, I would drive like to like a Phoenix or something like that. But then I wouldn't be able to go to as many races during the season though too, because I would spend the full 2 weeks on that. So I mean, that's what I did with Daytona. That's why I drove to Daytona. I went to the 500 last year was because it's about a 15, 16-hour drive for me, but I took the full week off to go for the entire week of Speed Week. So, taking that long of a drive, I had, 5 days, 5 nights I was down there, 6 days I was down there. And so obviously plenty of rest and recovery those first couple nights and stuff. And then, relax, watch some racing throughout the week, and then came back home the Monday after. And then give myself another, rest day I got home on the Monday, and then I still had Tuesday off, and then went to work Wednesday. I definitely do that again. All right, so I don't want to update anything in the garage right now because I think there's a good chance we could sign on some new engine builders and teams for next season. We'll look at our full season statistics here. So obviously we won the championship, 385 points with the margin victory over Tony Stewart over 2 full races of points ahead of him. But Stewart finishes second, Dale Jarrett third. Great for him. Second last season, third this season in points. And I don't think he won a single race all year either. Kevin Harvick, 4th in points. Jeff Gordon, 5th. Ryan Newman, 6th. Mark Martin, 7th. Jimmie Johnson, 8th. Dale Jr., after winning the championship last year, winning 2 of the first 3 titles in the career mode, finishes 9th this season. So he definitely took a step backwards. Still gets the top 10 in points, so and Kurt Busch finishes 10th in the standings. Remember Sterling Marlin was up leading points very early in the year, right around Talladega in the spring race. First 8, 9, 10 races in, he was up there. Once he wrecked at California, it was kind of downhill from there. Greg Biffle still 39th in points. We were rookies the same season. He's 39th in points. I got 26 career wins in a championship. He actually got his first career win in his rookie season. I didn't win a race till season 2 in the fall. And he won in his rookie season at Talladega. 1 year too at Talladega. It's just crazy, though. We have 1 career win in 2 full seasons to start this career mode. Then we get 25 wins in the next 2 seasons combined. Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I had bad luck with Bristol a couple weeks ago with hitting a piece of debris coming home and ended up having to stay overnight in Columbus on my return back home Sunday. So I went home Monday. I didn't get home until like Monday at like 7, 8 o'clock. I had to go back into work the next day. That was pretty rough. But obviously having to drive back to Columbus the next weekend to pick my car up and pay for the damages and stuff. So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. That sucks. There's a car I just bought like 4 months ago. Already has a replacement part on it, but I mean it's new. It's a new part. Didn't get a used part on it, but sucks that had to happen though. Such a new car. All right, driver stats: 22 poles, 20 wins, 28 top 5s, 31 top 10s. Tony Stewart, I mean, he finished second in points, 29 top 10s too. I mean, I was looking at the stats. You know, they were having 30, 31, 32 top 10s, so I knew it was going to have to take around that to win the title. Obviously, it did. The top 5s right around there too for Tony Stewart had 27 top 5s his championship season, so we had 28. So the difference is though we had 20 wins and Stewart had 9. Dale Jr. had 12 in 2 seasons, a couple championships. So 20 obviously was good enough to win the championship. 6.8 average finish. It was as low as 6.5 late in the year. Unfortunately, the DNF at Charlotte cost us. Otherwise, we might have had an average finish below 6 if I could have had a top 10 in that race even. My car's a 2020. Average start 6.0. Good stuff there. No rivals to start next season. I didn't look at laps led. Oh, that's total laps, my bad. Look at how many more laps led we have than everybody else. 472 laps led. Tony Stewart's the next closest with 112. Obviously, that helps for the championship, too, for the bonus points when we lead a lap or lead the most laps in a race. We led in a lot of different races this year. I mean, obviously, with 22 poles, didn't lead in all those races, but then there were races I didn't qualify on the pole where I was leading, so yeah, good stuff. 472, that's going to be a tough number to beat, honestly, for laps led in a season, considering how many times I qualified on the pole. I don't know if I qualify many more times on the pole than that. That'll be tough. All right, on to next season. Rusty Wallace, Sterling Marlin, and Dale Jarrett all retiring. Brian Vickers is going to drive the 2 at Penske. Wow. That's a big retiree. That's probably the biggest crop of drivers we've had retired yet, not just by number, but by driver itself. You got 2 former champions, a couple of former Daytona 500 winners. Nobody filling in for Marlin, so nobody's going to drive the 40 car. Kevin Grubb's going to take over for Dale Jarrett. So Jarrett finishes 3rd in points in his final season. His final 2 seasons in NASCAR, he finishes 2nd and 3rd. He didn't get a win this season. 54 career wins for Rusty. He had 1 pole on the year, 5 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and finished 12th in points for his final season. He didn't get a single win on our career mode. That's actually kind of surprising. I would have thought he would have won at least 1 race. Really didn't have that many top 5s. Our first 4 seasons of the career mode, he had 5 or less top 5s every season. And 12 or 13 top 10s. I would have thought he was more consistent than that. Finished between 11th and 14th in standings, didn't have a top 10 points finish. But it was the back half of his career. He still ends up with the 54 career wins. I think he actually has 55, if I'm not mistaken. 55 or 50. I think he's got 55, so he actually ends up with 1 more career win in real life than what he did through this game. Sterling Marlin with 12 career wins. He has 10 in real life, I know. So he got 1 in 2005, which I believe was the Daytona 500, if I remember correctly. I think he won the 500 on that season. And then he won 1 race in 2003 on this season. Or this career mode, I should say. And he finished top 10 in points a couple times on our career mode. And then we'll look at Dale Jarrett. Lined up with 40 career wins. I think it's a couple more than what he has in real life. He had 5 wins, finishing 2nd in points on our 3rd season of our career mode for 2005. He only had 2 poles, but he had 5 wins, 21 top 5s, 28 top 10s. Average finish of 6.9. My average finish this season was a 6.8. So, I mean, if he had that kind of a season this season, he would have been right there every step of the way for the championship with me. But came a season too early, I guess. And obviously no wins, didn't help his average finish this season, but he still ended up with an 8.2 average finish to my 6.8. 1 pole. Didn't get a win in his final year either, though. Best season was 1997. From a win standpoint, obviously his best season was probably his championship season for consistency. Considering he had 6 more top 10s, 4 more top 5s, but his average finish was 6.7. So his average finish, his championship season, was actually better by 2 ticks from what he had on our 2005 season on the NASCAR Thunder 04 career mode. Not going to change settings for next season, so we'll run the Bud Shootout and then end the stream. Yeah, all Bluetooth. They don't change the schedule at all, do they? On this career mode, I've never played past 4 seasons. I don't think they do, but that'd be kind of cool if they ended up changing the schedule. Like season 10 or whatever. Randomly put fantasy tracks in there. That would change things up quite a bit. 1 more race on the shop edition. Got to hire new team members. Definitely going to have way better pit crew, guys. Wow, 86 speed. And we're going to go for speed again this season. Give me the speediest guys. So we had Haynes as our crew chief, and this is what our stats were on a track-by-track basis. Now look at where they're going to be. We got S. Smith, Steve Smith, former Panthers wide receiver. Yes, Steve Smith Sr. We can have an 88 engine power. That's crazy. That's what we had last year. We have an 89 on the downforce this season. That's wild. So that being the case, now we can go to the garage. We're going to have to sell and then rebuild a lot of stuff then. So we will sell the short track chassis. We're going to build a new one while we're waiting. It's going to be a speedway chassis we're going to build. 9-race build. And we'll overhaul one of the other speedway chassis. 2 races. Get that tire grip up to an 80. We'll do the same thing with everybody else, or everything else. So we'll sell off the short track engine then. 9-race build. For speedway. Body. Build a new one. Get a speedway build going there. We'll overhaul this one. 2 races. I think I had to overhaul one of the engines yet. Doesn't really matter which one, so we'll just overhaul this one. Well, hang on, 76, 675, 88. Yeah, it really doesn't matter which one. Go 2 races. All right, well, that's going on. Let's try to win this Bud Shootout back-to-back seasons. You can only change the schedule in Codemasters Formula 1 games. Well, thanks for letting me know on that. Oh, gotta sign some sponsors, I guess. New secondary sponsor. Qualify on pole. I mean, honestly, top 5 is about guaranteed for most races. Most races I would qualify top 5. I qualify on the pole anyway. So might as well get double the money per race for that, and then double the money for bonus as well. 72 races. That's a long contract. McDonald's loves me. And I love them. What a partnership we've built with McDonald's. And just for the hell of it, we'll put McDonald's back here as a driver sponsor too. Gotta love ourselves some Mickey D's. Alrighty. Let's dominate this. I mean, we dominated last season, but mainly in the second half to final third of the year. Let's dominate from start to finish this season. Now, granted, I did win the Daytona 500, the Bud Shootout, and the dual race last year, but let's do that again. Super Speedway all the way around. 73 engine. Downforce 71, 69 on drafting. So 74 overall race car. Yeah, I like. We might have to stay with McDonald's for the rest of the career mode. We built a great partnership with them, having our career season, and hopefully we have an even bigger career year this year. I mean, I won 20 races last year. There were a few that got away from me. We can get to 50 career wins after this season. We'd have to win 24 races, but it's not impossible. So we can't qualify. All pole winners. I took up a lot of the poles, so we definitely did not have this many cars qualifying the pole last year. I think we've got some former winners. But it started me at the back. I started on the pole last season in the Bud Shootout. This season had us starting in 18. Picked up 2 spots off the start. All right, mandatory 2-tire stop. Definitely going to be a little harder. We led every lap last year because it started us on the pole. So we got a little work cut out for ourselves considering this is only 7 laps. Everybody's going to be taking 2 tires. To the apron, the tri-oval, split the 0-1-3 wide. No out of bounds in this game. I'm not penalizing myself for making a pass on the racetrack like that. Looking a little bit to keep it off Jimmy Johnson, and then McMurray slid in line right in front of me. Oh, somebody's blowing up in the outside groove. Look out, get out of the way. Look out, look out. Car on the bottom, stay low, stay low. All right, there's Bobby Labonte. He's probably going to be one of the next drivers to retire. It's going to be weird not seeing Dale Jarrett in the 88. Kevin Grubb's going to be in the 88. And Brian Vickers, instead of getting his start at Hendrick Motorsports, is getting his start at Penske. That's going to be throwing me off. Well, made our way from 18th to 9th. We're going to have some cars pit this time. Stay out at least one more lap for myself here. I don't think I've made contact with anybody this whole race either. Up to third, side by side for the lead up in front of the field. Keegan retires. No, I'm only in season 5. I'm not even of age to race in NASCAR in this season. I'll only be 8 years old. I'm already a Winston Cup champ. And these two at the front of the field have been side by side for almost a full lap. A lot more cars coming into the pits back there. Haven't led yet. Gonna make sure I pit this time by. So right side tires only, obviously. Left front's in the red, so I'll have to try not to lock the tires up too badly when we end up making our stop. Thought I was gonna be able to reel Jeff Gordon in up there, and I couldn't do it. Kind of got single file with Tony Stewart, and it kind of bowled me. Man, that left rear's already in the red too. Get all the racetrack up there. Great job not locking the tires up. It's going to go right sides only. Never made contact with anything, so I don't have to repair any damage. Here we go. No mistakes, boys. No mistakes. Got that new pit crew. 10 seconds. Let's go. Off and away. Got 2 laps left. Only lead the final lap. I'm going to lead the final 2, it looks like. I got out of the pit road pretty quickly. Great stop by the new pit crew. I'd like to qualify in the pole for the Daytona 500. That was the only thing I didn't do in the last few weeks. Won my duel, but I ended up qualifying 5th. Took me a couple laps to get to the lead. Coming to the white flag. Did a great job not locking the tires up, knowing I need to. I think they take 4 tires in this race. I feel like they do. I could probably take 4 and not get penalized for it because I think everybody else does. But that's all right. All right, gonna win the Budweiser Shootout 2 seasons in a row. Good way to kickstart Speed Weeks. It's party time. Yeah. I can do a burnout until she blows because it doesn't matter for exhibition races. She's smoking. Smoking in the grass, so you know it's about to blow. Yeah! Yeah! Another win! Three exhibition wins in our career. Still got to win that All-Star race. Let's go. Plus 2 ally with Jeff Burton. Won $200,000. Give me 8.28 million instead of 8.08. And obviously everything in the garage is all set up to go for Daytona. So we'll run the Daytona 500 and the first 6 races of this 5th season of the career mode, which will be episode 25. We have more wins than episodes now. I just realized that. It's episode 24, and we are up to 26 career wins. But yeah, so episode 25 will be more than... I don't know if it's going to be on Monday or not. I'm supposed to return back home Monday morning, but I don't know how awake and alert I'm going to be for that, especially with more than likely having to work on Tuesday. I'm scheduled to work at least. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to stream next. I'm definitely not going to be able to stream tomorrow or Sunday, being out in Vegas. So, tune in for race highlight videos from the grandstands. I'll be at another NASCAR race here this weekend. I'm not going to be at the Xfinity Series race Saturday. I would love to do live commentary for the stream, but because of when my flight takes off tomorrow, I'm going to have to leave my apartment before the race ends. So because I'm not able to do the full live commentary, I can't stay to the end of the race, and I don't want to do it at all. I'd hate to have a bunch of people watching. That's their only avenue to watch the race or listen to the race or anything, and then they can't even listen to the end of it, and I can't direct them anywhere, outside of the radio, like MRN and that stuff, because, yeah, I'd probably only be able to. I don't even think I can make it to the halfway point before I have to leave. So, with that being the case, I did actually was able to get free tickets for the Indiana-Michigan football game tomorrow because it was going to be a rainy game. There was somebody at my work that he had a friend that worked somewhere else and they had season tickets, and it just kind of popped up. I told him I wasn't going to be able to because I was going to stream the Xfinity race still before I left, and then it just kind of came up on when I booked my flight a couple days ago. I was like, man, I can't leave until 7 at the latest for a flight out that night. Spirit Airlines, they would have left at 10, which would have actually worked to get the live commentary stream in. But I saw they ended up canceling their flight right as I was trying to book it, so that's kind of a good thing it didn't go through. Because I was like, why is my card getting declined? That's weird. And then they ended up. It was because the flight was canceled, but it was still showing on Priceline because it was a third-party deal. So it was still kind of showing up on there, even though it was already canceled. So with that being the case, I have to fly out of a different airlines. And because of the results of that, I am leaving at I think my depart time is 6:54. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to even see the end of the Xfinity race. I can probably watch the end of it at the airport waiting to board my plane, but I'm not going to be able to actually commentate the race for you guys because I obviously have to be at the airport about an hour to an hour and a half before my flight leaves to get through TSA and all that stuff. So, yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to see you guys, for any live streams this weekend, but I will be at the Michigan game tomorrow. Won't be any content from that. I can't even bring my camera in. It's going to be raining the whole game. It's going to be a monsoon. That's the only reason I'm really even able to go to begin with. So, I'm kind of thankful for that. I haven't been to a U of M game in 4 years, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow, and definitely planning on there being race highlights. I'll put up a community tab post tomorrow morning as well to get the details out for anybody not watching the stream tonight. So thank you for your support as always. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. We're on the road to 5,000 subs. We have less than 4 weeks to get there. We're only a couple hundred away. And then also hit the like button on the stream if you haven't done so. Congrats to you guys and myself. We did this as a NASCAR family on this YouTube channel. We finally got our first career championship in the NASCAR Thunder Career Mode. It only took a couple months of gameplay to get it done, get through the first 4 seasons, and we were able to finally win that title. We'll try to go for back-to-back in Season 5. Want to get back from Vegas this weekend. Have a good, safe weekend, everybody. Enjoy the NASCAR races. Check out the race highlight videos from the grandstands, which will be uploaded on Sunday. I can guarantee you they'll be uploaded Sunday before I get home because I'll be able to go to the airport and I'll have downtime to be able to edit the video footage from the racetrack. Because by the time the race ends and my flight leaves that night, I think I'm going to have a 3.5 to 4 hour gap period. So I'm obviously, even if there's traffic getting out of the race, I'm going to get to the airport within probably two and a half hours before the plane departs. So that's plenty of time for me to be able to edit and upload that stuff. And I would imagine that the airport Wi-Fi is going to be much better than any hotel I would have. So I would actually for sure be able to get that up Sunday within a couple hours after the race. So thank you everybody again for your support. I'll see you guys either Monday or Tuesday next week. Thanks for watching.